What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's a beautiful day here at Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County in Punta Gorda, Florida, and I'm here with this 2022 Toyota Camry XSE V6. Now, a few months ago, I've done the base model Toyota Camry, which was the LE model. Today, I'm on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, checking out the most equipped, the most expensive Toyota that there is. Well, guys, what do you think when you think Toyota Camry? You probably think dependability, reliability, one of the most popular vehicles in the world. And if you said all three of them, you'd probably be right on all counts. Now, Toyota Camry has been around since 1982, so that's 40 years on the market, and has been a very popular, if not the most popular Toyota that the manufacturers produces. Now, this is, I don't even know which generation it is, but this particular one started in 2018. It's 2022, so it's probably towards the end of its model cycle, but this is the current model, so we can check this out right now. Starting with the color of it, they call it the Blueprint Metallic. It's a beautiful color. It has a lot of this metal flakes inside of it, so when the sun hits it, it really shines. The design of the hood, I mean, it's nice, it's aerodynamic. It has this kind of an inlet that opens up towards the windshield, creating this letter T design for better aerodynamics. I like how the lights are nicely incorporated in this front end. They're fully LED lights. They have the daytime running lights right here, the turn signal right at the bottom, and of course they have the reflector lights on the side. And what else is nice, I like how this Toyota logo is kind of cradled in with this bottom portion of the grille, which is also the Blueprint Metallic, and it's kind of incorporated with this different color. Now, I'm not sure what they call this color, but it looks like kind of the gunpowder metal, this really dark gray. It also has some metallic flakes inside of it. It is open. Now, I believe that's behind here as well as on the top with the camera system and stuff like this. That's where all the new safety technology hides. Now, by the way, this one is equipped with the Toyota Sense 2.5, so that's the newest version of the Toyota safety systems, and that one has it as a standard equipment on the XSE V6. Now, what I like about it, overall, the design is very nice. I like that this is open. I like kind of this polished aluminum kind of fits in and breaks up this bottom portion of the grille. But if I were to complain about something, is this portion right here. I'm not sure they designed it obviously to look like the air intakes, like the air curtains, but they just forgot to open them up. And this is just a design element. I wish they kind of opened it up, let a little bit more air inside of it, better aerodynamics, better cooling of the brakes. That would definitely be a plus. So design-wise, beautiful. Functionality, maybe not so much. Let's pop the hood open. Let's see what's underneath it. This out underneath the hood, you will find a V6 engine. This is naturally aspirated, 301 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. It has made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission that delivers the power to the front wheels. As far as performance ones, guys, I looked it up. Several different websites have different information. Some of them say it's 5.10 to 60. Some of them says 6.0. I think more of them said 6.0 than 5.1, so I'm going to stick to that. We're going to take it at the for a spin at the end of this video, so I'm going to kind of get the feel of it and maybe let you know whether it feels like a 5.1 second car or 6-second vehicle. Now, I like this insulation underneath the hood. I would definitely ding it for it and complain about this prop stick. Now, I had a comment on one of my videos say from the mechanic, I think, I'd rather have a prop stick because then the hood won't fall on my head, but if it had a hood strut, maybe that would like twist it and lock it in position. That could be the best of both worlds. Just let me know what you think in the comment section below. Check it out. If you look at the side of this vehicle, it looks pretty sporty to me. It looks like a sporty sedan. It's got this nice spoiler in the back. It's got the front end that looks fairly aggressive. Look at those wheels, 19-inch wheels, those shiny black wheels. They look pretty good. They are carrying a 235/40 size tire, so they're low profile tires, which makes it for an even sportier look on it. You do have the mirrors caps that are same color as the rest of this vehicle, and you can see the turn signal indicator is built right into it. Do I have a blind spot? Yes, there's a blind spot assist right inside of here. Door handles the same color as the rest of this vehicle. Now, does it have that? Yep, it does have the smart entry system, so you don't have to press any buttons on the remote to get in or out of the vehicle as long as the remote is somewhere on you. And then everything is the same color with the exception of this chrome trim around the windows. Kind of wish they would black it out. They would kind of fit in with the styling of this vehicle. Everything is more sporty and shiny black. If they continue with that trim, that probably would make it really nice. Now, I like that they did the pillars in the shiny black. That kind of makes it look like one big glass from the side, and a lot of manufacturers doing that. They've been doing that for years, so that's a pretty nice cohesive look on this vehicle. And of course, if you look at the back, that slopes down, and then you have this spoiler. So let's check this out, how it looks from the back. In the back, this vehicle looks just as sporty as in the front. I like the design of it. Starting off, shark fin antenna, nicely sloped glass. You do have a third brake light in here. Short trunk. We'll see how much room there is inside of it in just a little bit. But on top of that trunk, you have this nice looking sporty spoiler. Chrome Toyota logo, Camry, and the XSC. I'd probably like to see that in that black color or that gunpowder metal. It would look very nice on it. And you can't miss those very large visible taillights. Like I said, they start right here all the way on the quarter panel. They continue into the trunk lid. Fully LED for both the lights and the turn signals that are built inside of here. You of course have the backup lights in there as well. Looking at the bottom portion of the bumper, you can see the sportiness of this vehicle. You have dual exhaust. You have dual exhaust on each side of it, and you have this big air diffuser. Of course, you do have the rear view camera, and then you can open this trunk either from here or from the remote. So let's walk up to here. I gotta tell you, it's a pretty cool thing. All right, so if you ever got locked into the Toyota trunk, this glows in the dark. And check this out, as the little picture of a vehicle. Then you pull the door handle, and then you have to jump out of the trunk and run for your life. So if that happens, this releases the trunk opener. That is a safety feature that most of the manufacturers have it. Now, lots of room in here. Maybe not a huge opening to put stuff in, but I think it's definitely aligned with its class. Let's see if it does have the spare tire. Okay, so it has the tools, and we're going to lift that up, and yep, there's a spare tire. It is a temporary use tire, but it is there. So you have all the tools nicely organized in the styrofoam crate right in here. And then the seats. So there's not a complete pass-through right here, but you can see the seats fold down 60/40. You actually have the releases right here, so you pull either side, and that's going to release the seats for the maximum cargo capacity. Well, there's definitely enough room for a 6-footer sitting behind a 6-footer, and that means that I have the front seat adjusted to my regular driving position, and I do have enough room in the back. So the headroom, it does have this panoramic sunroof, so that probably takes about an inch away or so from the normal headroom if it didn't have it, but I still have about, I'd say, 2 inches above my head. So if you're, you know, 6'2" or something like this, you might have it a little bit tight to fit inside of here. But as far as the front leg room right here. It fits really nicely. I have this seat adjusted to my regular driving position, and I like to, you know, drive comfortably. And plenty of shoulder room. Now, is there enough room for 3 people in the back? Well, let's check it out. Before we get inside of this vehicle, let's check out this door panel right here. Pretty plain and simple, nothing too crazy about it other than this polished aluminum trim that ends in the door handle. You have a nicely padded armrest, a little bit of contrast stitching. Then of course you have the window controls, speaker, and then a little bit of storage in the bottom of the seat. Now let's see, look inside and take a look at the seating. So it is designed for 3 people in the back. It does have 3 seat belts. Now honestly, 2 adults and 1 child can fit comfortably unless there's 3 smaller posture adults. Now this opens up so you can create a armrest with the cup holder, so if there's 2 people in the back, no issues whatsoever. I kind of like this accent. What is it? It looks like a wool or something. Now the sides of the seats are solid, middle is perforated. I'm not sure why, because I don't see any buttons to turn on the heated or ventilated seats in here. And let's take a look at the middle console. It does have the vents for the back passenger, which is nice. What it doesn't have any power outlets or USB ports, which I probably would like to see, especially in this day and age. And then you have the seat back pockets in both seats, driver and passenger. You do have a little bit of bump in the middle, even though it is a front wheel drive. That's probably where all this exhaust hides in there. And of course, we got to check out the quality of this vehicle by closing its door. Boom, nice and solid, like a Toyota should be. And then let's take a look at this front door panel. So basically the same as on the back. You do have your chrome, well, it's not chrome, it's kind of like a polished aluminum trim ending in the door handle. And then you have the windows and doors and mirror controls, a little bit of a padded armrest in here, and pretty small room for anything that's you can put inside of it, but there's a little bit of storage inside of this door as well. So now take a look at this. It's got the power driver seat. I'm going to check out if it does have the power passenger seat as well. Well, nicely designed seats. These are not super sporty, but they look very comfortable, and kind of a different design of the headrest. I kind of dig it. Well, let's jump inside of it. Let's see the rest of this interior. Guys, we're sitting in this 2022 XSC V6 Camry. I gotta tell you, I like the interior of it. Check out this line right here. It kind of seamlessly go right to the bottom, and it has this front screen incorporated in here. I also like that trim. That I'll give you a close-up of it. Kind of has this kind of carbon fiber maybe look, a little bit of the diamond. Not even sure what to call it. Then of course the top, this one is soft plastic, this is leather wrapped, so definitely a quality. Even though the lines of this vehicle are the same as the basic LE Camry, this one definitely feels more premium, more luxurious one. So let's start it up because it is getting hot in here. It is a push button start. Let's see what happens when you start this vehicle. Pretty nice and quiet. I like how this engine starts. Toyota logo pops out, Camry right in the middle there. So we have a little bit of animation. By the way, I apologize, this screen does not flicker normally, but it's a different frame rate, so I mean, we have to deal with that, but it doesn't flicker. So for those of you that are questioning it, no, it's a nice and non-flickering screen. So let's move on to the steering wheel, and we're going to start with that. So big steering wheel. It is not a very sporty steering wheel. Usually they have kind of like a flat bottom or more pronounced bulges in here for better grip. This one doesn't have it, but it is nice to the touch. It is a leather wrapped steering wheel. It has some stitching right here, not a contrast stitching. They probably put some red accents. Maybe they do that on the TRD. I have to get my hands on one of those. Big Toyota logo right here. I like that the buttons are not shiny. I believe the last one I did, they were shiny buttons. They might have changed that to these, which would be a smart thing in my opinion. So let's see what this does. This basically looks like controls everything that's going on in the instrument cluster. Then you have your back button phone, and then you have your volume buttons in here. And then on this side you have your cruise control. This is your settings for the main cruise control, and then you have the lane keep assist, and I believe this is the forward collision warning right here. Then you can set different modes for the radio, and we're going to turn that off because that turns on automatically in the different tracks on different stations. So that's what's on the steering wheel. Now let's take a look in the instrument cluster right here. So you have two analog gauges. One of them is your speedometer on the right hand side, tachometer on the left hand side. You can also have the fuel gauge on the right hand side and temperature gauge on the left hand side. Now everything in the middle, that 7-inch display, is digital, and that's where you can definitely change some settings. This is a color display. It's lane keep assist, you can change those settings. This is your forward collision warning. Now you have your cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, okay, rear collision avoidance, maybe head-up display. Okay, this is the electronic sign reading from the vehicle settings. I wish when you move that would kind of give you a little explanation of what these settings are. Now I'm kind of guessing. These are settings for the instrument cluster, I believe. Units, eco, digital speed, okay, gadget, content. Let's take a look at this. So this is where we can display average speed, distance travel, total time. That's about it. No display. Not too much of it. Multi-information display off, pop-up display, telephone or brightness. Let's go back. So there's some settings that you can definitely play around with. What else we have here? Back to the main thing. So this is like if I press it and hold it, lane center on, sensitivity standard, sway warning, sway sensitivity. So you can set this up to high standard, and that's it. Sway warning on or off, sway sensitivity standard. Definitely you can customize this. Toyota Sensing 2.5, pre-collision systems, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert. So you have a lot of the different safety features. Other than that, you know, on the bottom of the screen you see the temperature. So 75 degrees outside. We're in park. The vehicle's got 8 miles on it. And if you look on top, okay, that basically is your clock right there. That's it. Well, moving on, we have this 9-inch infotainment system. It's hard to see, so we're going to go really quickly through it. So this is the same system you've seen at other Toyotas, but it is a little bit bigger than, let's say, on the regular Camry or on the regular Corolla. Still have the hard buttons. Not a huge fan of it. This is your home menu buttons. So you have your audio, phone, apps, projection. If you look at the projection, please connect a compatible device via USB to use this feature. So it does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but it is not wireless. So let's see what apps. There's no apps that are installed, but you can display different apps. Like I said, it does have the JBL stereo, and you have AM, FM, XM, which is the Sirius satellite radio. You also have the Bluetooth option or the USB for your media. And you go. The navigation app is not installed. Please check the Toyota website for compatible applications. Well, you can either do that or just use the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. That would be probably my preferred way to do it. And I'm kind of surprised that even on the top of the line model, Toyota doesn't use the navigation system as a standard equipment. I mean, you're spending quite a bit of money for this one. We'll get to the pricing in just a little bit. On the other side, you have Seek, Track, Phone, Apps, and the Tune and Scroll. So basically, here's your volume on the radio and power. On the other one is Tune and Scroll. In the bottom of the screen, you have some vent and the hazard lights, vents and hazard lights. And then at the bottom of here, you have the dual zone climate control. You basically have separate for the driver, separate for the passenger. You can sync it, like you can see, that syncs it with the driver, not the other way around. And you can set the temperature. So put it in the auto mode, which of course is going to have the fan blasting right now because we're still cooling off. You have your fan controls and different settings for the climate control. Moving down, okay, you do have the wireless charging right here. This is your tray for wireless charging. And then you have two. How do you open these? Okay, so you have the regular power outlet and the USB. These are covered. Okay, you have a shifter. Oh, by the way, on the steering wheel, you have the pedal shifters right here. Okay, so you have the pedal shifters on the steering wheel, but you can also manually switch gears if you put it in the sport mode right here. And as you can see, the sport mode lights up right here, and you can have plus and minus. So that basically switch the gears if you move this up and down. Let's put it in reverse for a second. I want to see the rear view camera on this vehicle. So take the rear view camera, and I think the only two options are the wide and narrow angle, and then you have the trajectory lines. Let's see, that gives you kind of like the envelope, and let's see, this one gives you the regular trajectory lines with the projected trajectory. So when you move the steering wheel, you can see where the vehicle is going to go. So that would probably be my preferred way of doing it. But no 360, and the camera quality is still not where it should be in the 21st century, in my opinion. But it is a decent sized screen, so that makes up for it. Okay, let's move back down here. You have the big cup holders, and you have 3 different drive modes. You have the Eco, Normal, and Sport. Hold is for your brakes. So if you put that on, brake hold on available right now because we're in reverse. Let's put it in neutral or put it in drive, then it's going to be available. And then you have the electronic parking brake. Heated seats, again, no ventilated seats. Kind of disappointment at this price range, but you do have heated seats, which we really don't have much use here in Florida. And then you have the USB and the USB-C inside of this storage compartment, which is nice and deep. You give it to them, they really have a lot of room right inside of here. All right, so move up to the top. You have this regular anti-dimming mirror. You have your HomeLink system right inside of here. And then if you move up here, you have your light controls, you have your sunroof control, and this is for your sunroof shade. And then you have the regular sunroof. Now it does have the panoramic sunroof. You know what, let's open this up and let's see. Tons of light. Get inside of here. All right, then we can slide this open. All right, you have a nice wind scarf right here for a beautiful day like it is today. Definitely good time to have this sunroof. You also have this SOS button, and I like how they do it, kind of like this fighter jet have this fire button that's protected so nobody hits this SOS for no reason. You have to open it and then hit it. You also have this warning right here that the vehicle data transmission is on, so it's standard that the Toyota is basically tracking you to see where you're going, and you can actually have to call them to disable it. See, to disable, press the vehicle SOS button to be removed by dealer on this. So press the vehicle SOS button, tell them that you don't want to be tracked, and then they're going to disable this. So pluses and minuses for everything. And that's pretty much it. So there's one more feature on this vehicle that we didn't really get into because it's so hard to see, but there is this 10-inch head-up display. That's a pretty cool system that kind of gives you all the information right in front of your eyes without taking the eyes off the road. So this is it. This is the interior. The vehicle is running, so let's take it for a spin. Check it out, guys. The vehicle is running. I'm ready to take it for a spin. As always, let's take a look and see what Camrys are available for 2022. So the first one is the LE, and I've done an LE Camry a few months ago, and that one starts at $25,395. Then we go to an LE Hybrid, $27,480, SE $26,935, SE Nightshade $27,635, SE Hybrid $29,015, SE Hybrid Nightshade $29,715, XLE, XLE Hybrid, XSE, XSE Hybrid, TRD, XLE V6, and finally XSE V6, and that's the one that we're sitting in right now. So that one starts at $35,820 with the destination charge and literally 1, 2, 3, 4 options that are added on this vehicle. And that comes up to $38,635. That's your total MSRP on the vehicle as we're sitting right now. What's worth mentioning too as well, now I'm looking at the sticker right here. See, I have a sticker of this vehicle. This portion right here, that's basically like the NHTSA rating, so that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration rates their vehicle as far as the safety. And look at this, 5 stars all across the frontal, the overall safety rating, etc. So very safe vehicle. Not only it's one of the most reliable vehicles, but it's also very safe. Worth mentioning on this V6 gas mileage, you get 22 in the city, about 32 in the expressway. Combined is 26, so it's not horrible. Now I probably would explore maybe a hybrid for the better gas mileage, but let's see the performance on this vehicle, because that might definitely make up for the few miles that you're losing if it's definitely fun to drive. Put it in drive. We looked at the rear view camera, but what I haven't looked at is the turning radius on it, and we definitely have tons of room to check that out right in this open parking lot. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, which I normally do. And we're going to turn it around. As tight as it gets. I gotta tell you, that's a pretty tight turning radius. And what also I like is how quiet it is on the interior of this vehicle. Now, a lot of those engines, the smaller engines, they have to work a little bit harder to produce the same amount of power. Some of them, you have the turbo engines, they have to get the momentum, they have to get the turbos to spool to produce that power. This is a very smooth power delivery. You can just basically coast with it. It definitely feels Lexus-like on this V6 Camry. Now, when I used to work for Honda dealership for quite a bit, we also had the 4-cylinder and the V6 Accords, and then they don't even make a V6 Accords right now. Camry's sticking with it. They still have a V6, which is, I think, an option what a lot of people consider, especially if you're used to that type of power delivery. Suspension is pretty smooth. Now I'm going to put it in sports mode, and once we get on the road, we're going to check out some of the acceleration, braking, turning, take it back to the dealership. So we're going to take it on the road. Again, this is a pretty nice and smooth acceleration. There's nothing, no jerkiness in it. There's no weird noises. The engine is definitely capable. We're going to check it out from stop, hopefully in just a little bit, but overall, checking out the visibility of this vehicle, that's nice. One other thing that I didn't tell you about, and we were looking in that area, that's shame on me, but there's a couple few lights right on the side of this panel. I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully that camera picks it up. So first of all, it says the passenger airbag is off. There's nobody sitting here. I only have this little sticker laying down here, but also at the bottom here, this one is not lit up right now, but when I stop the car and I try to get out, it's going to tell me of which seat belts are fast and which seat belts are not, so that kind of gives you an idea, a reminder if you left somebody in the back. Okay, we're going to check out the acceleration. Did you hear that? Hear those tires spinning right there. And 0 to 60, that definitely feels more like a mid 5-second car than a 6-second car. That was actually nicer than I expected. So again, you have all these sporty design in the front, and definitely matching up with the power. Just kind of wish that when the engineers and the designers were, looking at this vehicle, they were like, hey, you know what? This is a good place to put this air vent right here, the air curtain, and they just plugged it in with the trim piece. Right, then we're going to turn it around, and again, nice smooth delivery of power to the front wheels. There's a little bit of tire noise, but these are low profile tires, so that is to be expected. Overall, it's fairly quiet on the interior. And then, of course, if it's too loud for you, you can turn on that JBL stereo. That's gonna fix the loudness issue. Guys, definitely a worth looking at sedan. This is something that's been around for years, and I know this is not a brand new model, but definitely a solid vehicle if you're looking for a sedan, for a mid-size sedan that's got some power to it. definitely feels more like a low 5 seconds 0 to 60 than the 6.0, although, you know, that looks and feels can be deceiving. So just don't take my word for it. Go to the dealership, ask them for a test drive. You know, if you're anywhere in Punta Gorda, Florida, Toyota in Charlotte County, Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County, they still have it on the lot at the time of this filming. I'm sure they'll be very happy to help you out with the test drive. And thank you very much for watching. Thanks for getting that far into this video. Please help me get to the 10,000 subscribers. I strive to do that by the end of this year, but I can't do that until you hit that little subscribe button. So help me out, hit that subscribe button, give me the like, that keeps me pumped up, and I'm more excited to do more videos for you guys. Until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.